Hey everybody, hope your day's going well. We are back with a reaction. Jamie Johnson in color, and this was a request by Doug. Thank you so much for this request and donation. And also, Doug told me this is a storytelling song, and I've been on this storytelling kick lately of songs, and it's truly a joy. So I'm looking forward to this. Just, okay, I'm a writer and I love storytelling to do some storytelling, but also in first place, I'm a reader. I'm a consumer of stories, no matter which format it is, which medium it is, TV, cinema, books, songs. Just give me the stories, I love that. I love it. It's just part of our DNA. So let's go. And Jamie Johnson, this is going to be the first time I hear a song by Jamie Johnson, I believe. And I believe this is country as well. So it's got all those great combinations that we've been checking out lately. So let's go.
I said, Grandpa, what's this picture here? It's all black and white, and it ain't real clear. Is that you there? He said, yeah, I was 11. And times were tough back in 35. That's me and Uncle Joe just trying to survive a cotton farm and a Great Depression. If it looks like we were scared to death, like a couple of kids just trying to save each other, you should have seen it in color.
Wow.
Oh, and this one here was taken overseas in the middle of hell in 1943 in the wintertime. Almost see my breath. That was my tail gunner, old Johnny McGee. He was a high school teacher from New Orleans, and he had my back right through the day we left. If it looks like we were scared to death, like a couple of kids just trying to save each other, should have seen it in color. A picture's worth 1,000 words, but you can't see what those shades of gray keep covered. You should have seen it in color.
Wow. Oh. Wow, that's amazing. That concept of in color, of course, back in those times, they were all black and white. So that concept of taking that, you should have seen it in color. It conjures up so many things for me, because if you look at older pictures, it's hard to imagine that it was color, right? And to have seen it that way, and of course with that those last words of a picture worth 1,000 words, but you can't see what those shades of gray keep covered, especially when you're talking about war and pictures. There's nuances that you won't see, but there's also blood that you won't able to see because it's red, and this is just black and white. Wow. But just the way he said, "And Grandpa," what's this picture here? Like the story of a grandchild asking his or her grandfather about this. Is this you? Really amazing way of opening this song, and a great voice too, and the delivery. I love this type of stuff. And the times were tough back in 35 and trying to just survive, right? In a Great Depression on the cotton farm. Great Depression started in 1929. I'm from Belgium, but I know just a little bit about it, not too much. So it's really these things, in those times, it was like, one thing after the other, right? Then the war came, and then, tough, man. And it seems like nowadays we're in that perfect storm kind of situation, when pandemic, this, that, 1920, there was a pandemic too. It's like, oh, this is like setting off another chain of events of ugliness and that we have to get through. This time we do have 4K resolution of some of these horrific things, which is very awful as well. Wow. Just, you can see, in the middle of hell. We were taken overseas in my neck of the woods. I'm from Belgium, so Germany is next to us, and we have France, and so the action, the horrific things, it was here. So yeah, it's you could see the vision. You can almost see my breath. It's cold, and this is Johnny McGee. He was a high school teacher. Like, we're the trying to kids. We're scared to death. We're trying to save each other here. You should have seen it in color. Wow. That's tough. And it also made me very sad to think that I never really knew my grandparents. Few of them were in Pakistan, few of them were in Belgium, but I never knew them. And I never got to ask them really any questions about life and then their interesting stories that happened to them, man. Who were they as people? That's something I really, think about and that I've missed. But, then, that's life, man. That's life.
This one is my favorite one. This is me and Grandma in the summer sun, all dressed up. The day we said our vows. You can't tell it here, but it was hot that June. That rose was red and her eyes were blue. And just look at that smile, I was so proud. That's the story of my life, right there in black and white.
Wow.
And if it looks like we were scared to death, like a couple of kids just trying to save each other, you should have seen it in color. Keep covered. You should have seen it in color. Should have seen it in color.
Wow. Amazing. I love this so much. It sounds great. The writing is incredible. The storytelling, the visual. I really like how it ended. It changed from the war to me and Grandma in the summer sun, all dressed up the day we said our vows, and you can't tell on a picture, but it was really hot. Sometimes you have that, like we have this backstory of a picture. Maybe somebody was laughing. Maybe this is the third time you try to take it, whatever it may be. Maybe the camera got lost and you had to go back a couple of days later with a new camera, recreate it, and people would think, oh, this is your wedding. No, actually, we lost, or Uncle Joe spilled his beer on the camera and everything was lost and we had to recreate everything, but just looking at a picture, you would never know that. I really like that, all these little nuances, and then the chorus, it changes a little bit of meaning. If it looks like we were scared to death, we're about to start our lives as a couple, like a couple of kids just trying to save each other. Oh man, this is the stuff I enjoy so much. Truly, awesome song. Yeah, and you have those in the video, the black and gray, black and white pictures, and then they turn into color. We can do that now with technology. I've always wondered if somebody has one of those that you remember taking And black and white, you know what colors you wore that day, and then somebody colorizes it for you. Is it correct? Is that the color? Is it just something invented and it's another artificial layer on top of it that makes it even worse actually because it's not the true representation of that picture. I always wondered about that because I don't have those type of pictures to colorize, so I wouldn't know if it's correct or not. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, man, that's awesome. I like that. You see all those pictures, all those like I said in the beginning, I love stories in all formats, but every human being has stories, right? And some of them should be preserved. We have a project here in Belgium, and they have it in other parts of the world too, which is called a human library or a living library, where people from all walks of life come, all ages, and you sit down with them and they tell you their life story. Instead of reading a book, they tell you their life story, which is a nice project. I like that. So yeah, Jamey Johnson in color. Yeah. Let me know what else of his music should I listen to. I will add it to my very long list, but I do want to listen to more of his music because I really enjoyed his voice and the way he delivered these lines and the writing. Impeccable. So yeah, let me know. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.